Hello everybody, it's Mr. Q again. What's up? I hope you guys are continuing to stay safe and are having fun at the beginning of this new semester. Today, I want to talk to you guys about what are some of the things that you could do here in the Maldives and things you need to do to prepare if you wanted to come here. To help me with that, I have a special friend. I'd like to introduce to you Patricia. Please give a warm round of applause for my friend Patricia, the Pack Rat, or as I like to call her, Patti. How you doing today, Patti? Oh, I'm doing okay. Today we're going to be talking some more about what Patti likes to do here. It's a little windy outside, so I'm going to move the rest of this class inside so that you guys will have a better chance of hearing us. So, we'll be back in a minute as soon as we get reset up inside. Hello everybody, we're back inside where it's much easier to hear me and to hear Patti. So, welcome back, Patti. I hope you're having a great day today.
Oh yeah, I'm having a great day. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, yeah, no problem at all. I'm glad you could take time out of your busy vacation to spend time with me today. So, Patti, I know there's some things that you've been doing around here to have some fun. Would you mind sharing with the class what some of those things are?
Well, one thing that I like doing, probably my favorite thing, is to go snorkeling.
Snorkeling? Alright, cool. Well, what does that mean? What are you doing when you go snorkeling? What do you need to go snorkeling? What do you have to take with you?
Well, snorkeling is basically swimming in the ocean, and while you're swimming, you get to see all the different animal life in the ocean. You get to see all the pretty fishes and all the pretty plants under the water.
Ah.
Some of the things that you're going to need to go snorkeling are: you'll need a face mask to cover your eyes because salty water can hurt your eyes. You also will need a snorkel, which is a tube that you use to breathe through. Also, some fins to put on your feet, because it will help you swim better if you have bigger feet.
I see. So, snorkeling sounds pretty fun. Is there anything that the students should be worried about when they're snorkeling?
Well, sometimes you might see some sharks or jellyfish. I recommend getting away from a jellyfish because they could sting you, and that doesn't feel very good. But other than that, you could wear a life vest to help you float better, and then you don't have to worry about swimming so much because you can just float on the water.
Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So they take you out in the boat, you have your life jacket on so that you can float better in the water, you have your goggles on your eyes to protect them from the salt water that might make them hurt, and you have the fins to make your feet make your swimming easier by making your feet bigger, right? Oh, and your snorkel, which helps you breathe so that you don't have to keep coming up from air.
That's right.
So that sounds like one of your other favorite activities that you like to do.
That's right. I like to go diving. It's basically the same as snorkeling, except you go deep into the water. What you need for diving is similar to snorkeling, except you need to make sure you have a big tank of air.
A big tank of air, huh?
Oh yeah.
Because otherwise you wouldn't be able to breathe under the water, right? But when you go diving, you can go diving very deep into the water, and you can see a lot of different types of fish.
Oh yeah, you can see a lot bigger fish too when you go diving. It's a really interesting experience.
All right, cool. Is there anything you like to do on the land that is fun to do?
Well, one thing I like to do on land is to sunbathe.
To sunbathe, so laying on the beach, right?
That's right. Basically, I just get to lay around, relax, and all you need is your suntan oil and your bathing suit, and maybe a beach chair or a towel so that you can sit on the beach.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you don't want to get sand all on you, right? So you got to have a towel or a beach chair so that you can sit on the beach more easily. And since you're going to be suntanning, you want to have some suntan lotion, right? So that you don't get too burned. I mean, look at you. You're already pretty pink, right?
Yeah, I got to be careful in the sun.
So I understand that you got to take precautions when you are going to be on the beach. So, is there anything that you can do that involves a vehicle?
Well, one thing you can do is go kayaking. Basically, you get a little boat that fits 1 or 2 people, and you basically go out into the ocean on top of the water.
Oh, okay, so you're on top of the water. You're in your own personal little boat called a kayak.
Yeah, all you really need to go kayaking is a life jacket and a paddle so that it'll help you move the boat. And your life jacket will help you in case you fall out of the boat, which happens sometimes, especially if there are a lot of waves. There's not a lot of waves here in Maldives, but in other places I've been on this vacation, there was a lot of waves.
Oh, really? A lot of waves. Luckily here, it's pretty smooth. There are big currents that flow under the water, and they can pull you out, right? So you have to be careful, especially when you go into the deep water.
Oh yeah, sometimes even really good swimmers have a hard time swimming against the current.
Ah, yeah, well, so it's a good thing that you, as a rat, are a very good swimmer.
Yeah, I'm a good swimmer, that's for sure.
Well, what do you like to do that where maybe you don't have to exercise so much? I mean, you've been snorkeling and diving and paddling a kayak. Well, what can you do where you kind of just sit back and relax but still get to do some stuff?
Well, one thing you can do is you can go fishing. So you go out on a boat, you have a fishing pole, a long stick with some string on it, basically, and you throw that into the water and wait for a fish to bite. And then you reel it in, and then hopefully you have a nice big fish that you could eat for dinner. In fact, I caught a really big barracuda the other day, and we're going to have it for dinner tonight.
What? You caught a barracuda the other day when you were fishing?
Oh yeah!
Barracudas are pretty big, and I hear they put up quite a fight. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah! I was busy trying to pull in the fish, so I didn't really get any pictures of me actually reeling it in, but it's gonna be delicious. I'll take pictures of the food tonight.
All right, sounds great. What else can you do besides fishing?
Well, something you can do is take another boat and you can go watch the dolphins.
Dolphins? You can go watch dolphins?
Oh, yeah. I love to watch the dolphins. They jump out of the water and they play with each other. And the cool thing about dolphins is sometimes they come really close to the boat and you can get some nice pictures. Unfortunately, there weren't very many dolphins that came very close to the boat this time, so I didn't really get any good pictures.
Ah, it's too bad. Maybe next time you go dolphin watching, you'll get some better pictures.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, it's the same with whale watching, too. You know, whales and dolphins, sometimes they don't really want to come next to the humans. They just want to do their own thing playing in the water.
That makes a lot of sense, you know. What else can you do?
Well, at this resort, they spend some time every night feeding the sharks.
What? They feed sharks where you're staying?
Oh, yeah. And they're big sharks, too. Basically, we sit on the dock, and there's a guy with some pieces of fish, I guess, and he just throws those into the water. And then the fish and the sharks fight over the pieces of fish. So I was able to get some really good pictures of them feeding the sharks. It is really fun watching them. Because you think of sharks as being very scary, but they kind of just look like big fish.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess some breeds of shark are pretty good. They're not very scary. They're not very big, right? And they look friendly even.
Oh, yeah. In fact, every time I saw one of these sharks, I mean, they're kind of small. Makes me think about a baby. Like they're a baby shark. So I was always singing. Baby shark, doo 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 doo.
Yeah, I guess that's a catchy tune that came out a few years ago, huh? And people are still thinking about that, especially when they get to see some sharks. So, what's one more thing that's very popular that you do at where you're staying?
Well, one more thing that's very important that everybody needs to do is eat. But here we have a buffet. And there's a lot of delicious food on the buffet.
Ooh, I like buffets. Many of the students can probably attest. I like my food. And buffet is a great way to get many different foods all at the same time. You don't have to just get one type of food, right? So you don't have to eat a lot at a buffet though.
I know, but sometimes I'd still do if something is so delicious.
I know what you mean, man. I know what you mean. Sometimes you just can't help yourself and you get a little bit extra food, right?
Oh yeah, gotta fill up on my most favorite foods.
In fact, maybe we'll do another episode about some of the etiquette that you should have when you eat dinner. And maybe we'll show a little something about the buffet that is available here.
Oh yeah, that would be super cool if we could do something like that. I'm sure every one of your students would be happy to learn all about that.
All right. Well, Patti, I really appreciate your time today. I just want to recap for the students how we talked about many of the things that people can do when they're on vacation and some of the things that they need to take with them when they're on vacation, right? So, for example, we talked about snorkeling and diving, how basically you need to take a face mask and a snorkel and fins and a life preserver and And if you're diving, you want to have a tank of oxygen, right? We also talked about fishing, how you need a big stick with some line to try and catch some fish. And we talked about going dolphin watching and whale watching, but maybe we forgot to tell them, you probably want to take a camera with a zoom because maybe they won't come too close to the boat and it might be hard to see them, right? We also talked about kayaking and sunbathing, which are also very popular here. Make sure you take your sunscreen because when you're outside, that sun can be very dangerous and it can give you a really bad sunburn and make you feel very bad for quite a while. And then of course, our favorite activity is having a nice meal at the buffet at the restaurant here at the hotel. So you don't really need to take anything for that. You just need to plan how you want to eat. So, class, I hope you guys enjoyed meeting Patti. Maybe we'll get to see her again in another episode. I'm sure that you guys have learned a lot about traveling today. So, Patti?
It was a pleasure meeting you guys, and hopefully I'll get to see you again soon.
Alright guys, we'll talk to you later. I hope you guys continue to stay safe and have fun. Hello guys. Here are some of the things that you might need while on vacation. This is a life preserver or life jacket. Helps you float in the water. So, life jacket. Here's your camera on your phone, your camera phone, so that you can zoom in and take pictures. Here is your sunscreen and your after sunscreen. Basically, you can get protection before you go in the sun, and you can get some help after you go in the sun in case you get sunburned. So you have your sunscreen and after sun. Then you have your snorkeling gear. There's your face mask and your snorkel. Face mask and snorkel. Remember, face mask to protect your eyes and a snorkel to help you breathe. Of course, you need a bathing suit anytime you go into the ocean. And here's a towel, and there is a beach chair that you could lay on while lounging on the beach. So, Patti wanted me to ask you guys to discuss amongst yourselves, why do you need the items that I just showed you? Talk about it and decide if there's anything else that maybe you think you should take with you when you go on vacation. Alright guys, we'll talk to you later.